Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Chat Movies podcast. I am Lucas Lidane, and joining me today is special guest Pedro from Just Gaming. How are you doing today, Pedro?
Hey everyone, I'm fine. Thank you for having me. I hope I can be a good guest on the
No
show.
problem. I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Stories to break down for this week's weekly news update, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers would crucify me if I didn't start by talking about James Gunn.
Ew!
Who has, of course, released his trailer for the upcoming The Suicide Squad, and people are pretty excited about it. I've seen the trailer. I didn't think much of the trailer until the end. I really liked the Starro reveal. But I know people have been wondering how I feel about James Gunn still, particularly over the weekend, and I just want to let those people know that in regards to James Gunn, anything I had to say is on my Twitter or in my last episode. What do you feel about James Gunn right now, and how do you feel the Suicide Squad trailer was compared to the 2016 film?
Okay, regarding first James Gunn, I've seen what you had to say, and I agree in some aspects, and I agree. Here's the thing: what he said back in the day, it was extremely stupid and extremely disrespectful. That said, I didn't think he deserved to lose his career because of easy things he said in the past, and I want to believe he's over that. Like, I want to
Yeah.
believe he's past those stupid ass jokes, because if it's not, that's a bigger issue. But
Yeah.
it looks like he's over it, so that's the important part. But regarding now the Suicide Squad trailer, I liked it. I thought it was good. There's something about the trailer that already kind of puts me off, which is Gunn's humor. I think Gunn is good with jokes, but he doesn't know when to stop, and sometimes he goes overboard. And I noticed that in some I noticed that about some jokes in the trailer. Like I liked a lot the dick joke from John Cena.
Oh,
But that's
in the
because John Cena,
forest.
yeah, but that's because John Cena is really good with comedy, in my opinion. And I like the jokes here and there with Harley, but here's the thing, and this is something that really worried me.
Yeah.
I hope Suicide Squad doesn't forget Birds of Prey, because I love Birds of Prey. It's one of my favorite DC movies,
Really?
and yeah, I
High
adore Birds of
praise.
Prey.
Wow, that's
No,
cool.
it's like, to me, I have like Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and Justice League, Snyder cuts. Not
course.
not the other version.
Emily, don't! Oh my god!
Up there, and then after it, it's Shazam and Birds of Prey, and
fair
after
enough.
it comes like Batman, Superman. Like, the only movies I don't really like about DC, the only movies I don't like from DC is Suicide Squad, the Justice League theatrical cut, and I'm not a big fan of Aquaman. And those are the only three I really don't like vibe with. The others I either like or really like. So I loved what they did with Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, and the thing with Suicide Squad is that I was worried they would kind of deviate from it. But it looks like it's gonna follow Birds of Prey, so
Yeah,
I'm
she
more,
doesn't seem to be
Yeah.
with Joker or anything in this movie.
Yeah.
As far as we
But
know.
listen, I think the trailer itself looks fun. It looks like a fun movie. I'm not expecting coming out of this looking like nope, this was the best DC movie of the year. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a fun time, which is what Gunn knows best. It's a fun time, and his best work is when he plays off with his characters. You know, like he plays off like he's gonna. I want to see the interactions, because I think that's his strong suit, is when he uses his characters and he uses their interactions to create really good scenes and really good comedy. The only thing I didn't like, and this might be just a personal thing, I didn't like the King Shark approach. I think they're dumbing down King Shark, and King Shark is not.
What,
It's
like
not
with
the
the
most
hands
serious.
joke and everything?
The hand and yum yum, and like, it was funny, but I'm gonna pull my CW bias here. When he was in the Flash, which I loved, he was very serious and he was very menacing. Here, he just looked like something. It looks kind of cute, which is weird. It's a shark. It's a shark that walks on 2 feet. It's weird, but other than that, I'm excited, and especially because there's a Portuguese actress. She's playing Red Ketchup too.
Oh,
And
right.
that's one other reason why I'm super excited, because it's Portuguese representation, which makes me really
Yeah.
happy. She looked cool in the trailer. I know nothing about Redcatcher. I'm gonna keep it that way, so I'm
Hmm.
surprised by the film. But yeah, I liked the trailer. I thought it was very fun. And Starro, bringing Starro, that was wild. But that was also
That
very
is-
Gun.
Yeah, that of anyone to kind of decide. Do you know who I'd really love as my villain? A massive starfish who can control people with parasites. It would definitely be James Gunn. And I guess his color palette very much suits Gunn as well. It's very blue and red. I will say though, I thought the color tone. I know some other people have said this. I did feel it was off in the trailer.
Mm.
Not like just because it was kind of less colorful in terms of primary colors than the other movie, but it just felt a little oversaturated and almost it felt quite cheap to me. I don't know. Did you get that vibe at all from it?
Not really, because like I know what you're saying, but like I think I really don't. I can't judge it because of a trailer. You know, it's just a trailer at the end of the day. And there's some cool visual, like that scene where Harley Quinn. It's close to the end of the trailer. There's a scene where she's like, looks like she's screaming, and then there's like a bunch of flowers behind her
that
exploding.
was good.
Like I think he's gonna have a lot of visual spectacle here and there. But yeah, in terms of like, are you talking about like color grading?
Yeah,
Is
the
that-
color grading. It felt, let's just say, much more like an MCU movie than a DCU movie in terms of the color grading. And
I get okay. So I think you're okay. So I think you're going, and this is nothing wrong with that, but I think you're basing off on Snyder movies, I assume, because Snyder is he's very cinematic, and he has like people say he doesn't have colors. I don't think he has color. I think he has a different use of colors.
He likes his dark.
He has a different he has a different use of colors. Like dark colors are still colors. It's just a different approach. And I think like Wonder Woman was very colorful. 84, I mean. Sorry. Like, but that was because of the era they were portraying, which was the 80s, and 80s it was very colorful and everything. So like, I don't know. I think when you said that, I think the only scene that came to my mind is the first one. You know, when the trailer opens and they're like in an empty street.
Oh right.
It felt very white. That scene felt very white. They were very bright in my eyes.
Maybe it will look better in the cinema though. I guess because we are watching it from just a little screen, we don't really know how it's gonna look.
Another thing that I found interesting is I think Gunn is staying truthful to a year movie, which is fine. Even though I don't like it, I respect that he's staying true. Except with Rick Flag, I feel like he's taking a different approach with Rick Flag. Like Amanda seemed the same character. Harley Quinn seems the same character that got the progression from Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. But Rick Flag feels completely different just from the trailer alone, which is weird, and I'm very curious about that. Honestly, Rick Flag might be my most intriguing character in the movie, because I'm curious to see what James Gunn is going to change about it. But yeah, I thought it was a good trailer. I liked it. I'm excited for it. It comes out in what August?
I believe so. August this year on HBO Max and theaters. Same day.
Yeah,
in the US.
International international people have to go to the theater. We have to pay. No, I mean by August, I want to believe I can at least go to the theater. So. But yeah,
ours are supposed to open in May, but we will see. Depending.
Ours is late April. It sucks that I'm not gonna be able to see Godzilla vs Kong in theaters, but whatever. It's a pain. But
well, we'll talk about Godzilla vs Kong later because the reviews have come in. But one last thing on DC quickly. You may be surprised to hear this, but I am actually going to praise James Gunn for something. I really am, because he earned my respect a lot. Because on Twitter, he defended the Snyder fans, but I also think this can apply for any fandom in general, not just Snyder fans. But he was talking about them in particular, and he was basically saying how he doesn't feel it's fair that they're all grouped as toxic, and that's what they're kind of known as. He said they're just very passionate. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like the Snyder Cut community is known as toxic?
No. I put every single fandom in the same place. There's the regular folks, and then there's the vocal yet completely trash people.
Yeah, that just make the
And that's
most noise.
like, I don't know if you saw, but they're actually review bombing Godzilla vs Kong. Some Snyder fans are
Yeah.
reviewing bombing and giving it 1 out of 10 because Restore the Snyderverse. Like, and
You
they're
know-
commenting on Asian appropriate posts that Warner Media did, saying like Restore the Snyderverse. Like, what? This is not the
I
time.
will say to that though, a lot of the fans did then respond to those tweets and say, "You need to delete this. You're fucked up."
No.
And they
But,
did
but
delete them. But yeah, it's
that's-
out of line.
that's all fandoms though. Like every
Yeah.
fandom has. Bro, I love Star Wars, but Star Wars fandom is completely trash. There's some good people, but
Mm.
there's a lot of fallback people, and the same thing goes for Marvel. As you know, like
Yeah,
a huge Marvel
definitely.
fan, but Marvel has every fandom has their black sheep, if you will. So like, it's not. It's something that I guess because I think the Snyder toxic fans are more vocal.
Mm.
Which was something that actually happened a while ago. Snyder said like a while ago, and I was really disappointed by his comments. He said like, "All my fan base is great. No one is like bad." And I was I'm paraphrasing. Obviously, he had a
Is
better
that
statement
the
than that.
interview where he said?
It was a while ago. I don't remember when. It was before the Snyder Cut even came out.
I think I
I
remember
was
the
ex-
one you're talking about.
And I was extremely disappointed because I was like, no, you have to address the other people. But then later on, he actually addressed it. And like I think 2 weeks ago or a week ago, I think it was a week ago, he denounced Geeks and Gamers on like
Yes.
a live stream. And I was like, bro, you're my god right now.
And you know what?
I love you.
You know what? I called out because obviously a lot of the Snyder fans were celebrating that because I know I won't name the person's name, but you and I both know someone who used to work under Geeks and Gamers, don't we? From the Movie Talk Facebook group.
I don't know if it's the same person we're thinking.
It might be. We'll say it after
might
the
be.
show.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, no.
And I remember he left because he said he was experiencing really shitty behaviour there and really shitty comments and stuff. And
A lot of people.
like, "You don't know
Mhm.
what you're talking about." I'm like, okay, just wait.
Yeah, it sucks that those people still have a voice in the community, which sucks. Like even though they're trash, they somehow get to the companies, which really sucks. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. I
Not
guess
to say
it's
they
like,
can't improve though. I do want to, in
They
case
can-
anyone
they
watches
can
it
improve.
from there. In case anyone watches this, that's not to say they're all bad. I'm sure there's some great people working there. I haven't personally watched the channel in a very long time, but I'm sure there's nice people working there who don't mean any harm. But
oh yeah. I know someone who still works at Geeks and Gamers, and he's like, it's a job. He reviews
Yeah.
games. Basically, he's in the game department. He's like, I just review games for this
Yeah.
channel. Like, it's the only thing I do. And I'm like, that's fine. It's
Yeah.
a job, and I'm not gonna give you shit because you
No.
decide to have a job. No, that's unfair. But yeah.
yeah, so I think Snyder touched on a good point with the Geeks and Gamers thing. I would have personally gone after Collider more. Particularly, I've done that article.
But, like,
about
But like Collider, I saw that article, but I think Collider, the problems that come with Geeks and Gamer are way worse than problems that come with Collider.
Yeah,
like
I guess,
Collider,
yeah.
it's
They're
more
still
a problem.
doing it.
It's a problem with the medium, while Geeks and Gamers are problems that actually affect our social community and everything, which is disgusting. Like
Mm.
I really don't want to. I don't want to go into it because I think
No,
it's a
that's
really
fine. Yeah.
it's dark. It's a different topic, and I don't think we should give them more screen
No.
time.
No. What I will say is one of the
Mhm.
things I appreciate about channels like yours and the other channels I watch are the ones who like to really boost the other channels and creators and directors and unknown ones and give them platforms to kind of spread their art rather than using their platforms as ways to just kind of tear down people for clickbait and for views just to get more money. So that's
Oh, yeah.
the last thing we'll say on Geeks and Gamers. Now, moving on. Our next news, of course, Godzilla vs. Kong. I believe it debuted last week in some countries that have their cinemas open, and it did well. It
Mhm.
made 121 million internationally. 70 million was from China, so it was kind of from one place mostly. But it was a good box office take, particularly for now. The average opening is like 14 million or 4 million, something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Mhm.
they're doing very good, and the reviews are also quite good. They're at 79% at the moment. Obviously, it will go in flux for the next couple of days, but the overall consensus seems to be the action is great, but the story is quite bad. Do you think? And this isn't exactly a new complaint that's being lodged at this
The
franchise.
Monsterverse.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think that this could be the final kind of nail for this franchise, or do you think they have potential going forward despite
Okay.
these problems?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think first of all, I just want to point out something very interesting.
Yeah.
How much did it made? Sorry, can you tell me again? It made 130 or 20?
121 million.
Yeah. That's.
Yes, 121.
I'm just checking, just to be sure. I don't want to say something
About
that I'm wrong.
121.8.
But yeah, it did more. It opened on 70 million, right?
Yeah.
In China.
Yeah.
It did more than Godzilla 2 in China.
Really?
And Godzilla 2 opened in a non-pandemic world. This movie opened during a pandemic. I think these like numbers are incredible. I was actually shocked.
Me too.
That it made 120 million. I'm completely shocked. And I heard that some of my friends in America, most screenings for the movie are sold out.
Really?
So I think they're saying that it might do like 30 million in America, which again is insane for a pandemic movie. We're looking at a movie making probably more than Godzilla 2 Kings of Monsters on a pandemic environment right now, which is insane. But yeah,
who would have thought that happened?
I think people are just tired of this pandemic, and they really need to go out. They need to do something. And weirdly enough, going to the movies like it's the middle ground between what can I do that it's not super dangerous, but at the same time it's not very contained. And I think going to the movies is something you have your mask on. I assume it's the same thing as it's in Portugal, where there's like some chairs between you and other people, so there's you have kind of a personal space. So like people are just tired and they need something. And I think a trip to the theater is something different enough from what we got last year. But anyways, I was gonna say, look, I like Godzilla 1. I like Kong Skull Island. I fucking hate Godzilla Kings of Monsters. I think I hate it. I think it's one of the worst blockbusters. The only one I think I disliked most. No, one of the worst blockbusters like of recent times. I think the only one I disliked as much as Godzilla when it comes to blockbusters was Fantastic Beasts, and it's not the first one, the second one.
Oh, Crimes of
Crimes of whatever.
I'll cut that out. I'll cut that out.
Them and they men combined put together.
Those two movies are the only two I really despise when it comes to blockbusters, and I'm the weird thing is I was still super excited. I'm still super excited for Godzilla vs Kong because I think from the trailers it's everything I want, which is in these movies. Who's gonna come out of? Sorry, there's a mosquito here. Who's gonna come out of a Godzilla vs Kong movie and say, I was really disappointed with the story. What story? You're watching Godzilla versus Kong. If you came out and saying there wasn't too much of Godzilla versus Kong, that's fine. That's an actual complaint. And people saying, sure, the story is bad and everything. What did you expect, really? It's a Godzilla versus Kong movie. I don't know. Personally, I'm expecting a fun time. It looks like I saw a review from I don't remember who it was, but someone watched the movie and reviewed and said, this is this is one of the only monster movies where there's the human characters have less screen time than the monsters.
Oh.
Which is weird. They say the movie is mostly non-stop action.
But that's what we
and
want to see.
and that's what we want to see. Like
We
I'm
would
not
like to
expecting to
see
come
it.
out.
I would like to see it.
I don't want to. I'm not coming out of 2021 saying Godzilla vs Kong was the best movie of the year. No, but I'll probably come out saying Godzilla vs Kong was one of the most entertaining movies of the year, and that's what I'm expecting. I just want to have fun, and I just want to see a big gorilla punch the shit out of a lizard. Like,
Wait! What is the tea? The girls are fighting! No!
this is all I want, and I'm happy that at least in that department, which is the department that matters to me with these movies, we're getting it. I think Godzilla 2, like I said, I dislike Godzilla because they did the same thing they did with Godzilla 1, which was Godzilla was, even though he had more screen time, he was still a small part of the entire movie.
Oh right, yeah.
And the human characters were so bad that it really made me angry. Like, at least give me Godzilla. This is not good. Like, the writing on the characters was atrocious. A Vera Farmiga character was basically
that was awful.
that character.
My poor Vera Farmiga. What did they do to her?
It was so bad. It was so bad. I like the action scenes in Godzilla. If someone can edit Godzilla Kings of Monsters to only be action scenes, I'll watch it again. But I'm not gonna put a 3-hour movie when 2 hours of that movie is basically humans interacting, and it's really bad interactions.
It's not even giving what y'all said it was supposed to give. No, I wasted my money. So send me my money back. Now. My cash app is open.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that the movie is getting decent reviews. I wasn't expecting 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or
No, definitely
a lot.
not.
No, I was
It's
expecting
higher than I
this.
thought it would be.
It is higher than
79%. That's good.
But regarding the franchise, I don't think I think this is the end for now, because the rights revert back after this movie, and I think they're gonna hold on to them for a little while. And this is something I saw a while ago. This is not spoilers for Godzilla vs Kong. This is just me who read a theory on Godzilla vs Kong.
Yeah.
People think. A friend of mine thinks Godzilla vs Kong is going to end with Kong winning because they want to launch another series of King Kong movies. So since they're losing the rights for Godzilla, why not push Kong to become the main star? So they're so basically, according to the director, there's going to be a definitive winner, and a lot of people think it's Kong because it's the one that's going to remain in Warner Brothers. So might as well give the win to the person who's going to stay in their franchise. I think eventually we're going to get Godzilla back for more Western Godzilla movies, but it's going to be. I think we're going to suffer a pause because look, even though this movie makes a lot of money, Godzilla alone still didn't make a lot in 2014, and even made less in 2018 or 19, I don't remember, whatever, when Godzilla 2 came out.
18.
It was? Okay, yeah, one of those years.
That's Godzilla vs. Kong.
I don't know if you talked about this as well. Nobody, the movie from... Yeah, it made 7 million in America alone.
I was going to talk about that, but it's just because we had a short time. I wasn't sure if you wanted
I just want to mention that it looks promising for theaters because 7 million on a pandemic world.
Oh yeah, that's great.
This movie cost 30 million to make.
Did it? Yeah.
And it's an R-rated movie. Yeah, and it's an R-rated movie, so 7 million is pretty good.
Yeah, and the stunt company, I can't remember their name. I think it's 811. They are the same company that Chad Stahelski and David Leitch have. It's their stunt company. So I haven't actually seen the film yet, but I really want to.
Nobody? Yeah, me too. I saw the other one, Hardcore Henry, and I remember having
that film.
Blast. It's so wild.
Yeah,
it's
people
so wild.
hated that. I was like, it's fun, guys.
I think it's a fun movie. I agree. It's a fun movie.
But anyway, so the next news, this is probably more in line with the type of stuff you'd like to talk about, because this is kind of something I wasn't sure about talking about, but then you convinced me because I was like, is it a credible source? And you were like, yeah, it's pretty good. So,
it was Washington Post.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's probably decent. So apparently Microsoft is in talks to buy Discord for $10 billion.
Jesus.
Pretty hefty transaction. I believe that is less money than they paid for Bethesda, if I'm not mistaken. Or Square Enix, rather.
I'll fact check you.
ZeniMax.
Bethesda.
I think Bethesda was like 90? No, it wasn't 90. I'd hope it wasn't 90.
7.5 billion.
Oh, so this is more than they paid for
This is
Bethesda.
more, yeah. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, they bought the company
ZeniMax.
that owns Bethesda. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were like, fine. we'll-
Yeah, well, that's very
Yeah,
good for
Bethesda.
Xbox. But
No, that's incredible for
yeah.
Xbox.
I hate exclusivity personally, even though it benefits me because I have an Xbox. But I don't like exclusivity.
I'm a
It
big
annoys me.
support. I said it again. Even when I'm in disadvantage because I'm more of a PlayStation / Nintendo guy, I'm fully supporting exclusivity because that's
Oh.
because there's a reason for me to explore other consoles. So
Oh,
like
yeah,
if
I
you
get
put Elder
that.
Scrolls in just Xbox, I'll maybe get an Xbox. And when I get an Xbox, it's like, okay, you got an Xbox for Elder Scrolls, but here's another entire world for you to play. Like here's Rare Replays Collection, which is incredible on the Xbox. Here's
Yeah.
Halo's Master Chief Collection, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
also great.
Now
Here's
they
this-
fixed it. You weren't there for the beginning of that. It was dreadful. It was. Oh boy.
But like, I'm that's why I love it because like, okay, now you want to play Last of Us. You get a PlayStation to play Last of Us. Okay, you enjoy Last of Us. Here's another entire game called God of War or Uncharted. You know,
Yeah.
it allows people to
Spider-Man.
explore, or Spider-Man. It allows people to explore other universes in other games, and that's why I'm a fan of exclusivity. But yeah, sorry, I think sorry, I'm getting away from the point.
No, that's fine. Welcome to the Let's Chat Movies podcast, everyone. But in terms of them by Discord, I'll be honest. I can kind of see why they want to buy them, but I also don't because they have their obviously their Xbox Live service, but it works
Mhm.
pretty seamlessly already between like your PC and your phone and then your Xbox. Because I know I've played games with people who their mics are broken, so they've just used their phones to like
Mhm.
speak on their mic and stuff. So I'm not entirely sure what they want with Discord, to be honest. I'm not
think
sure what
it-
they could do with it. What do you think
It's-
they're gonna do?
It's because Discord is honestly one of the most used chat servers, and I think they're buying it to implement it with Xbox.
Oh
And
yeah, obviously that, but I mean,
they're gonna
like,
implement.
what are they gonna do with it to make it? Kind
It's
of
an
fit
incredible.
with
It's
Xbox?
Discord. I don't use it that much, but Discord is an incredible social platform. Like you can create sub groups inside Discord. You can have like multiple chats. I think it's the only thing I'm kind of finding it weird is that $10 billion
Yeah,
price.
right? That's so
That sounds
expensive.
too much for
But
for
to
Discord?
be fair, in the report, I did
Mhm.
go through it a bit, and it said that originally Discord were the ones who approached Microsoft about buying. So
Oh.
maybe Discord's on a downward trend. I'm not really sure.
Maybe they saw the cash that they got from Bethesda and were like, "Yo, we want some of that. We want some of that
Maybe.
action."
Maybe.
There's
I mean-
a lot of reasons, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think the main reason is like they can incorporate Discord with Xbox. Obviously, they're not definitely gonna make Discord Xbox exclusive. That would be extremely dumb. You're gonna lose a lot of people. But
Yeah.
they're like, I think they're gonna implement it with Xbox and be like, you can access your favorite features of Discord on Xbox, and you know, I think it's a good move. I think Phil Spencer. Look, I think my problems with Xbox, sorry, not Microsoft, is nothing regarding the decisions that Phil Spencer does, because I think Phil
No,
Spencer
I like
is.
Phil Spencer. Quite a bit,
I
actually.
love him. He's
Yeah.
such a nice guy. Like
I watch his interviews, like his
I
hour-long
like-
ones, and I was just relaxing. I'm like,
I like Reggie. I loved Reggie when he was in Nintendo, and I never really connected with any guy on PlayStation. But Phil has such a presence, such a
Yeah.
nice presence on. I love him, and I think when Microsoft bought a lot of studios, that was one thing that really left me. What are you going to do now? Because they bought a lot of
Right.
studios, and so far most of them are doing nothing. Like
I guess
I
they're
just
working
understand.
on stuff, but it's taking a
And
long time for it
and
to.
and the Halo Infinite situation is such a
Ooh,
mess. Even
know.
Phil Spencer doesn't even know what's going on. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
It's coming out when it's coming out. I don't know. Like, and Phil Spencer said something in an interview that I found was completely brilliant, which was he said he wanted. I don't know if you saw that interview. It was like a small interview. He said he wanted to change the focus of Xbox to Game Pass. So their main
yes,
focus would
yeah.
be Game Pass, not consoles, not everything. So I was like, that's very smart because
I'm all
what
for
does Xbox have that no other console has?
Game Pass, and it is
Which
so
is the
good. It's such good value.
it's the most bang for your buck. On the like, I love PlayStation, but PlayStation knows Game Pass is so good they're not creating a Game Pass. They said themselves like we
No.
can't compete
You
with
can't.
that. I don't.
And
You
you know,
can't.
there's actually rumors that they've been
Mhm.
going around for a while, so I'm not sure if they are true, but I think
Mhm.
they are because they have connections with them. Ubisoft, you know how they have Ubisoft Plus on PC, and they've been saying for ages, we'd love
Oh
to bring
yeah,
it to console. There are rumors they're going to do it through Game Pass, which makes
yeah.
sense because they have a ton of contracts
That's
with
literally
Microsoft.
all games coming to game. Did you see also that they're having like Outriders, which is a Square Enix game?
I am so excited
Day
for that.
one.
Yeah,
Day one. It's why
I've
I
got
think
it
Game
set
Pass.
to pre-download already.
Imagine
670
like
gig though. Oh.
I'm just picturing like that's so good. Even for like
Right.
I know this is probably thinking in my situation, particular situation, but think of like the small developers, small creators that don't have money to get every single game.
Exactly.
They just have to pay $10 and they have Game Pass. They can be on every game
Right.
because
Day one.
they can. Yeah, it's like what, $15? Sorry, I said 10, but it's 15.
Yeah, it's $15, but you get your first like 3 months for £1 if you're a new account.
Oh yeah. For one,
So
yeah,
it's
here's the same
literally
thing. It's incredible. It's the most like I still am a very big defender of physical games because I like having the small cases. Sue me, I like having the little thingy on my
I have
wall.
my assassin. That's my Eivor there. That's Parthenax from Skyrim. I love my physical games.
Yeah, I love physical, but like you can't deny like is EA Access also on Game Pass?
Yeah, Star Wars Squadrons just came on there, and it's the only reason I played it.
I have it. I actually have it for Xbox, but I have it physical because someone gave me on Christmas. But yeah, like I think Xbox making great decisions. I don't know what they're gonna do with Discord, but I think Phil and Microsoft, the entire team knows what they're doing. So I think it's if it's gonna benefit them, be my guest. Like because it's still a good purchase. I think Discord is still a big social media to acquire. So I think whatever they do with it, they're gonna make a good decision. Because so far, like the only thing Microsoft is not nailing is Halo Infinite. Other than that,
yeah, they're doing fine. I do think maybe they'll, because they've got Game Pass PC, maybe they'll do some bundle and include the Discord Nitro or the premium version with your Game Pass. Maybe that might be quite cool. But
that
moving
could be
on to other gaming news, I'm very sad about this. I'm very sad about this because this is my most anticipated game of the year. The spiritual Left 4 Dead 3 has been delayed to, I believe, October 12th. And it's very unfortunate. It had its alpha, like last month, and it was really well received. Fans were really excited and looking forward to it. It was supposed to come out right around my birthday next month, and then they announced it was delayed. I was like, but you know, they said it's to polish the game. They want to make sure it's as good as possible because some of the feedback from the alpha was kind of, there's some features in here that could be kind of polished up a bit, maybe. So that's good. And they've also said that they're still going to do a summer beta. They haven't released a date for it, but so I assume that will be maybe, I'm going to guess May or June. That will probably give them enough time to take feedback from that and implement it. obviously, for those who aren't familiar, because I know this is a kind of big game for those who are familiar with it. For those who aren't, they don't really know about it. So
Mhm.
basically, the original team who were working on Left 4 Dead 3, they left the project, I think just due to creative differences and, the typical studio excuse for I left because I don't want to do this anymore. And they went on and basically changed the name and changed the characters from any copyrighted stuff and made Back for Blood. So it's essentially Left 4 Dead
Left 4
3.
Dead 3.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this? Are you disappointed in the delay? And given how previous games that have been delayed, Cyberpunk,
Don't do it. Don't.
turned out,
I'm
are you nervous at all for the game?
So the thing I said a while back when Cyberpunk released on my gaming podcast, I said Cyberpunk is gonna create something special, which is companies are not gonna release games unfinished anymore because they saw what happened with Cyberpunk. We had to suffer through Cyberpunk, so we can now actually get attention of the companies. Now everyone's saying, "Oh shit, they're not making money out of this game." I mean, they're still making money, of course, but like,
Yeah.
it's not the success that they wanted.
No, and they got
Um,
sued and
It's still not.
sponsors
It's still not
pulled out.
available. Yeah, and it's still not available on PlayStation.
No,
They still don't
it
have it
might be
available.
soon. They did announce that they're doing they're releasing their patch 2 soon, but I think it's too late for that game personally. I think
I
everyone
think
turned their back on it.
I don't think nothing is ever too late. You know why? Because
Hmm.
if that was true, I would have sold my copy of Avengers. But I still believe that game is going to get fixed eventually. So I'm still holding
How
on.
is Delusion treating you? Okay.
I mean, let me ask the audience.
No, like look, look. If everyone had given up on No Man's Sky,
That's
it wouldn't
very
be
true.
the success it is right now.
And
it
one
had
of
the
my favorite
biggest
games is Battlefront 2. That took years
that
to get into
yup,
shape.
that game took years, and now it's arguably one of the best multiplayer games.
It's
Like,
one of my favorites, definitely. I've got like, it was really embarrassing. I've got like over 2 weeks of hours on it on Xbox
hey,
after
if,
lockdown.
hey, I have over a lot. I don't know the hours exactly, but I have tons of hours on Fortnite. So
Oh wow!
you play what you like.
I
You
feel
play what you
better.
like. Oh, thank you. But regarding Back for Blood, I love Left 4 Dead 2. It's one of those first games. I didn't really play one because
No.
I don't know if because I'm gonna just check real quick. But I think Left 4 Dead 1 came out when I was still like kind of young,
Right.
and Left
Yeah.
4. So I'm checking through Left 4 Dead 1.
It came out in like 2000.
Yeah, it was 2000 something. It was really a long time ago.
Yeah. It was like
2008.
not even PlayStation.
2008.
there you
So
go.
when 2008, I was old enough to play it, but I still not enough. I don't know.
I was
I don't know.
9, so I definitely was not.
No, I was born in 96, so I was 13, but still
Ooh.
I missed it.
Mm.
But then I played Left 4 Dead 2
Yeah.
and I adored it. I thought it was it was one of those
Right.
games that the multiplayer experience from it for the time it came out, it was unmatched.
Yeah, there was
It-
nothing
the
like
co-op,
it.
the
And the
co-op
amount of
experience from it.
zombies on screen and all that.
And I think the only thing that kind of got to it close was COD Zombies because I loved COD Zombies, but that was because I just loved Call of Duty Zombies back in the day. But it was still weaker compared to
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 2. Is this the same team? That's something I was going to ask you. Is
Yeah.
this the same team that
It's
did
a lot.
Evolve?
Oh, I think so. Yes.
Because Evolve wasn't good. I played it. I didn't like it. So I was
heard
kind of
it was very divisive. Like it was either you really like this or you hate it.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was cool. I was like, this is supposed to be Left 4 Dead 3, but different. And it
Really?
was really
Wasn't
disappointing.
it about aliens? I never played it.
Oh,
so
they
I don't
changed
know.
the setting, but it was the core gameplay was
Ah.
similar.
Do you know what game is amazing in kind of recapturing the spirit of Left 4 Dead is World War Z? That game took me by
Wow.
so much surprise. I remember playing the first clip, and if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. In the first mission, you're in this New York kind of shopping mall,
Mhm.
and At first, you've already taken down a horde of at least probably 500 zombies, like mowing them down. But then you just hear all this roaring coming, and they literally, I would say, at least, I don't know, 10,000 replicated zombies on console as well, running at 60
Jesus.
FPS perfectly. I didn't have any issues.
Damn.
All start raining down, they're jumping down off the rooftops, and you've got like your little machine gun, and you're just like, here we go.
Here they come!
Walkers are fighting! Shit! More coming in!
Gas bags there. Watch the fuel.
It's funny because
I hope
World War
it's like
Z, World War Z was one of those games that kind of went under the radar. I remember like a lot of people
Yeah.
liked it, but it never got like that buzz that I think the game kind of deserved.
No, it
I
was
didn't
a
play
shame.
it, but I didn't play it, but I heard a lot of people say it was a very fun game. Like,
Yeah, it got a little
Um,
bit of a resurgence when it got onto Game Pass, so that was nice. Because the
Oh.
multiplayer was always really good. It was always really dead, so
Mhm.
I didn't play it a lot because it took you like 5 minutes to find a game. So I was like, I'm good. I'll just play the campaign
Well,
on
that's-
my own.
but yeah, like Back for Blood. The latest thing I saw from the game was there was an event like 2 days or 3 days a while ago. I was like
Yeah,
a week, I think, and they showed a little bit of the game. They
Mm.
showed a little bit of a run, and the first thing that really got to me was like how different, how many different characters they're trying to have. So like
Yeah.
there's the different type of zombies. So that's cool. I don't really remember. I haven't played Left 4 Dead 2 in years, but were there like different types of zombies? Because I kind of
yeah.
remember
You had
different
the
types.
tank and the witch. I remember.
Mm.
Do you remember your first?
Oh,
time
the
you
witch! I
ever
remember the
encountered
witch. I remember the witch.
The
Yeah, I
first
remember the
time
witch.
you ever encounter her and she's crying and you're like, what the fuck is that?
I remember the witch. That one I do remember. But yeah, I like the gameplay. It does feel like
Left 4 Dead.
it feels like Left 4 Dead. Exactly.
But the updated version of it, which looks
Exactly.
really promising.
I'm just curious if they, because this game's really benefits from open betas. So I'm very
Mm.
curious if they're gonna do one, and if they are, I'm definitely playing it
I
because I
think
really.
I think it'll be open. If not, it'll probably just be if you pre-ordered it.
Then I'll pre-order it, play it. If I don't
Mm.
like it, I'll cancel my pre-order.
Yeah.
That's easy as that. But yeah, I'm excited for the game. I think the game is gonna be good. I hope it's be good. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed again because I said this also at the beginning of the year. We're gonna see a lot of delays, and
Yeah.
it might not seem like it now, but it's coming. It's coming. Like remember when PlayStation had God of War 2? That was
Oh
fun
yeah.
for 2021. Remember
It was
Halo
so
Infinite
good.
was November. That was fun.
I love
Remember Hogwarts
Halo Infinite,
Hogwarts
yeah.
Legacy? That was fun too.
Okay, so the next bit of news is, of course, it very recently broke. The Obi-Wan Kenobi production is finally moving forward. It has been in production for what feels like a lifetime. I remember before there was a time that we even knew Ian McGregor was going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi in the movie. It was like that long ago. And it's finally supposed to start filming in summer or spring. Obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
That does probably depend on COVID restrictions, I'm guessing, what it's like at the time.
Depends where they're gonna shoot.
Yeah.
If it's in Australia, they're probably good to
Yeah.
go.
If they're doing the UK like they usually do with Star Wars, I'd very much recommend against that, because we're going straight into another lockdown when we come out of it.
Jesus.
But yeah, the Obi-Wan Kenobi productions moving forward, and they've released a bunch of castings today, including Kumail Nanjiani. I probably butchered the pronouncing of that. Obviously, we also knew Indira Verma was going to be cast. Obviously, we know Hayden Christensen, Ian McGregor's returning, and overall, the cast looks pretty promising. It trended on Twitter. People seem quite excited about it, and you know, I think with this show, this is going to be, now that The Mandalorian has kind of wrapped, This is kind of, I think, going to be the biggest Star Wars project to come along for a while until maybe the next mainstream film entry.
Oh, I don't think that. I think mainstream films are not.
I think they can fix them.
Look. I'm a
Just
defender of
bring
the
over-
sequel trilogy. I
like
love
them.
2/3 of it. I don't like one movie.
Is it?
And even-
what one?
It's The Rise. I don't like The Rise of
Oh,
Skywalker.
that is
And
definitely
I don't
the
like-
worst.
I don't know,
But
like,
I enjoy
and I still like a lot of parts of The Rise of Skywalker. I just don't like the overall product.
Yeah.
But
It
I
was
think
butchered to hell, wasn't it? Like,
it was
release the
yeah.
JJ cut. That's
that
the
the
next
movie. The Rise of Skywalker is the proof that when you try to appeal to everyone, you won't appeal to anyone.
one. No.
They wanted to appeal to everyone, and they miserably fail at it. And not only did they fail at appealing this part, they failed at appealing everyone. So that sucks.
Right.
But I don't think I'm hoping, because I don't know when the Patty Jenkins movie coming out, because she has a Star Wars movie coming out. But I'm super
Yeah.
excited for that one.
Think
I
she's
hope-
doing Cleopatra first, and then it'd
Oh,
be
she
Star
is?
Wars, and then it
Mhm.
would be one.
Wait, is she directing Cleo? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah,
Oh,
with Gal
that's
Gadot.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew Gal Gadot was the main protagonist, but I didn't know she was directing. That's awesome. I love Patty. I'm happy for her.
Yeah, I like her. I liked Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh, me too. I don't think it's incredible, but I like it. I think it's a
No.
good movie.
Yeah.
But Obi-Wan, like, this casting is very, very cool.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I know like a third of it. Look, I know O'Shea Jackson Jr., which I think is a great actor, and he's not been in enough things lately. I'm super happy for. I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but Kumail.
Yeah.
Kumail.
Kumail Nanjiani,
I'm sorry.
think it
I
is.
love him,
From
and
The
I'm
Big
super happy.
Short and that one.
Big Short, Silicon Valley.
Oh no, not Big
which
Short. Sorry, the
the big. No,
You
it's
know
not Big
what
Short.
one I'm
Big Short is the
talking about.
Ryan Gosling
Yeah,
one.
you know
It's
what
a
one
Big
I'm
Sick.
talking
Big
about.
Sick. Big Sick.
yes,
Big
yeah.
Sick. He's
A
also
bit of
in
a
Silicon
different
Valley. He's the only non-cancelled actor in Silicon Valley, which is awesome. No, I'm kidding. There's him and another actor.
I've never
But-
actually watched Silicon Valley because
No,
everyone.
don't
keeps
bother.
getting-
Don't bother.
Yeah.
But he was great in the show. I'll say that. He and Martin Starr were great in the show.
Yeah.
They were my favorite parts of the show by far. Aiden Christensen, we already knew he was coming
I'm
back.
so happy
That's awesome.
he's coming back. Very happy.
I'm
for him.
surprised Joel Edgerton is coming back. He played the
Yeah.
uncle. They're bringing him back, which is awesome. And
It's
the other
cool,
the other casting that I'm very surprised. Oh, actually, two castings I'm very surprised. I guess there's two. Sung, I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm sorry.
That's
Sung
okay.
Kang,
Yeah.
Han from Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah. I'm
that's
happy
cool.
about that one. Yeah.
He has. I've never seen him outside of Fast and Furious, so I'm curious to see how he goes in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the other one is Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers.
That's one I heard a lot of people saying. I don't recall knowing him from anything, but I'm sure I
He-
probably
did you see Good Time? He's the brother. He's Robert
He
Pattinson,
is?
and then he's the brother. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I
And he's
love
gonna
that
be in the
movie.
new. He's gonna be in the new Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Oh.
PTA movie,
Wow.
yeah.
Good for him.
And now got Star Wars. Yeah, he's getting a
Wow.
lot of acting roles.
that is
I'm
really good, actually. Wow.
The rest of the cast, I don't know, but I wish them the best,
Yeah,
and I hope
I'm
they
sure
all
they'll
do
do
splendid in the show. Yeah. But yeah, it's solid casting. I'm very excited to see. I'm especially very excited to see how they use Hayden, because what's going to be the story here? Because
Yeah,
I'm
do
very
you
curious
want
about that.
him
one.
to be Darth Vader, or do you want?
No, I do want him. I do want him to be Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I
Or
do want
would
that.
you rather see him, in flashbacks, maybe
In
at
Anakin?
some point? Yeah. Or
I would
would you
like to
rather
see him in
not see
Anakin
it?
because I don't think Aiden Christensen is that good of an actor, but I
Excuse me?
Okay.
think he really liked the character, and that to
Hmm.
me also matters. And he in the third movie actually had a good performance. I'll defend the third movie
That's
because
my
I think
favorite Star Wars film, except for Rogue One. They're tied.
that's actually my least favorite. Rogue One, not. I hate no. It's Attack of the Clones.
Wow.
Attack of the Clones. It's Attack of the Clones, and then it's Rogue One.
Is Attack of the Oh, that's the one with that really interesting. I love Ewan McGregor going through
stands?
the Coruscant, and he's just flying on those CGI little cars.
Oh yeah, that's
like
I
Indiana
hate
Jones.
But I'm excited to see him back. I'm excited to see. This seems like they're gonna have I'm expecting to be a secret, but I'm expecting young Luke in the show, which would be actually really cool.
Mm,
Like a young version of Luke Skywalker.
yeah.
Obviously, they're
I
not
guess
going
they
to
did
pull
it with
another.
Mandalorian, so why
Yeah,
not?
but that was like CGI, and that was after Rise of Return of the Jedi. This is I'm expecting like actual like kid Luke
Oh, right,
Skywalker,
yeah.
which would be so they're not going to get Mark Hamill to age down to 5 years old. I doubt they're going to get someone, and I'm very curious. I'm very curious about the show. It's actually my most excited, most anticipated Star Wars content outside
Okay.
of the Patty Jenkins movie because I'm
Mm.
really excited for that movie as well. So these two projects are my most because I'm kind of done with Star Wars because the Rise of Skywalker was really disappointing for me, and the Mandalorian I like it, but I don't love it as much as everyone does.
Yeah.
I think this is again. I know this is probably a hot take, but I think the show relies too much on nostalgia, and that doesn't work
And
for me.
special guest characters in season 2.
And special
Is it
guest, yeah,
just
they
me?
use
It
they
was
use
like
most
AHS.
episodes. No. They use most episodes for backdoor pilots. They use the Ahsoka
Yeah.
for a backdoor pilot for her show. They were using the castle character that I'm not going to name, and they're using her a lot to also backdoor her pilot. They're using those. I think Mandalorian is going to become that thing that it's going to introduce new characters, and you're going to see those new characters coming out of Mandalorian and having their own things, which is fine. And some people like that, and I'm happy for it. When I saw the reception for the Luke, I personally like the Luke Skywalker scene from second season. I don't think it's incredible. I think it's a good scene, but I was so happy to see that people that felt disconnected from Star Wars because of the other trilogy are now connected again because of this scene. That's awesome. I personally felt really connected to Star Wars with The Last Jedi, and then and a lot of people didn't, and that's fine. And I love that now they're having that feeling that I had with the sequel trilogy movies.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that people are liking these new Star Wars. I'm not that much of a fan, but am a fan of Obi-Wan, and I'm really excited for this one because I love Ian McGregor in the character in the role.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry.
No. Sure, go.
My problem with The Mandalorian season 2 is, to me, it almost felt like if Ryan Murphy decided to do Star Wars and make it his version of American Horror Story in the sense of every single next bit is completely different, but they'll tie it in by some really
Bizarre way?
bland, really thin kind of stretch reach of a plot line.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is. I loved season 1, so that's what kind of disappointed me about it. But in terms of.
No, I thought season 1 was very good as well.
Yeah.
It's not. I remember when season 1 came out. Again, the first season I think was good. Second season I think was good. Like if I had to grade those two seasons, I'll give both a 7. Maybe a little bit more to the second season because I felt the second season had a little bit more to offer. But like I remember everyone was clowning me because I remember when Mandalorian 1 came out, I kept saying it's not even the best Disney Plus show.
But it's
High
not.
School Musical TV show back when it came out. I love that show. I love it. I love it. And now I think WandaVision is the best Disney Plus show, but that's probably my bias because I fucking love Marvel.
I loved WandaVision. Yeah, I did like it. I was talking
Are you liking Falcon?
I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
Only because it's nothing personal to that, but with WandaVision, as much as I enjoy doing like the weekly review and everything, it was because I do so many other content as well. It was really a lot. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait until.
You're gonna wait.
Yeah, the end.
I
and
respect
then I'll just
that.
do a big review, like I did with Clone Wars, which is what I was gonna say. That has been my favorite Star Wars content ever. Above even the movies, I would put Clone Wars above it.
Wow.
And I just want more Clone Wars. I don't want any more Mandalorian.
I'll
I don't
say
want
this.
these spin-offs. I want more
Clone Wars.
Like a heart attack.
Clone Wars has some of the best Star Wars content, but also some of the worst. I'll just say
the first few seasons I feel like,
Yeah,
except for
yeah.
Rookies, that episode has a special place in my heart because it was the first one I watched. Rookies, the one where they're all the fresh clones and they're in the training facility. in
Mhm,
season
mhm.
1. But yeah, I feel like they really got their stride going from like season 4,
Heavy
and then
Rebels?
season 7
Mhm.
was, it actually blew my mind. Several times. That's especially, you had Ahsoka and Darth Maul and that amazing duel. And I hope because they've got kind of some of the Clone Wars actors coming for that, I hope they kind of
A lot of
have
people are
nods to
saying,
Clone Wars and that.
"Are you excited for Bad Batch?" Because a lot of people are
Yes.
saying that's David Filoni basically trying to say, "I'm
Yeah,
making the
this
8th
is the
season of
next
Clone
one."
Wars, but I'm calling it Bad Batch." Yeah.
I am. I really liked them in the Clone Wars. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is boring," but I do think that's because they were waiting to get to kind of the new stuff that they had done.
No,
So I
but
think
now I'm
that's
curious.
what.
Did you see Rebels?
Yes, I
You don't like it?
no. I do like some of it. I liked I originally liked the Inquisitors until she had that absolutely awful death scene where she flies away in the helicopter blade and then she just falls.
Was it the first Inquisitor was a she?
Yeah, I think it
I
was
don't
a she.
remember. It was a she.
Or
I thought it was a guy.
It might
My
have been
bad.
a guy. I think it's a she.
I thought you were talking about Fallen Order. And I was
Oh
like,
no!
is it- because that one has an a female
Yeah.
Inquisitor. So I was like, is he talking about Fallen Order? Just
No.
casually change
In,
topics.
In
That's probably my
Rebels,
favorite new
when she
content, Star Wars content.
we're in Rebels
counting the
when
sequel
she
trilogy.
flies off with
Yeah,
her
I
lightsaber.
remember that. Yeah, that was goofy. But Rebels then also got really dark with Kanan and Darth Vader and Ahsoka. I love Rebels as well. I think Rebels is
I
awesome.
like the Darth Vader stuff. Or else I didn't like it's not the animation style I just didn't like the lightsabers because they were really thin and I didn't.
Yeah, I get that. I actually get that. No, I agree. That was wild.
Mm.
Now, speaking of Clone Wars, if you like Clone Wars, I know it's not the same, but it's coming to Disney Plus, the anime type Clone Wars show, and that's fantastic. If you have time,
Alright.
watch it. It's fantastic. It's
Hmm.
awesome, and
What's
it
it
goes
called?
really Star Wars Clone Wars, but it's
Oh.
2D animation. It's the same name. It's the same. They tried to do something like in the vein of anime, and in my
Oh,
opinion, it worked really well.
that's cool.
But it was
Oh.
canceled. But it's not coming to Disney Plus, so check it out because
Oh.
it's fantastic.
You know what? Disney Plus, I will actually say, they're doing a really good job of kind of doing well by animation. Because there's also a show that I've really enjoyed that's been debuting on it called Solar Opposites.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
it
I know,
is
but that's Star
hilarious.
Z. That's Star.
Yeah. So it's kind
Yeah.
of depends on where you are if you can get it on Disney Plus. But
Disney Plus is
it's really good show.
incredible for international markets
Yeah.
because we in the international world get Disney Plus and Star.
But
for
you
like
know what?
the
They
same
get
price.
HBO Max, so we're allowed Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
but okay, but you have HBO, but you have Disney Plus and Star for like $8, and they have Disney Plus and HBO. You guys don't have HBO?
No, well, we have HBO, but not as HBO.
Yeah, you don't have
distributes to
Max,
Sky.
but
No,
yeah.
it
We also
distributes
don't
to a
have.
different service.
We have like the HBO Lite. Think of a HBO Max Lite. That's our.
Yeah.
That's our.
kind of like some countries have something called like HBO Go or whatever.
Yeah. They said they're gonna expand it to other countries this year. So
Yeah, is there just
when it
waiting
gets
for
here, I'm definitely
contracts?
subscribing because I think
Yeah, me too.
HBO Max has one of the best values outside of like. I still think Disney Plus has the best value because it's
Yeah.
still cheap enough and it has so much content and
Right.
everyone can enjoy it. But out of that, it's probably the Netflix or HBO Max. I think those two are also great. But
Yeah. Also, speaking of HBO Max, we do have some more Snyder Cut news for the Snyder Cut fans, because Hashtag Restore the Snyderverse officially broke Avengers Endgame's world record for the most amount of tweets in 24 hours with 1.5 million plus tweets. Blue check marks were tweeting it out. There was a ton of stuff going on. There was that it wasn't just Restore the Snyderverse that trended. It was like release the Aya cut.
It's almost hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
And then I think Cyborg trended for a bit. Obviously, we did talk a little bit about some of the less appropriate posts that they were swarming, but they are also swarming, obviously, all other posts with, still to this point, hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, it seems like this fan community, which I'm a part of, so I can speak for all of us when I say we ain't giving up anytime soon.
You can't get rid of me, bitch!
Warner Brothers have another thing coming. And according to very recent industry rumours, HBO Max aren't giving up either. As I've been reporting for a while, HBO Max have every power to overrule Warner Media Pictures for their TV shows. They can't make a movie and have it released theatrically without Warner Media Pictures signing off on it. They can do whatever they want with their TV shows because of Warner Media's own mess of leadership.
I mean, honestly, the girl did it to her damn self.
Because they allow their divisions to essentially run off on their own. They don't. They have like the HBO Max division, but then they've split that into film and TV. You have your DC, and that's split into film, TV, and then you have just that constant trend. You have it now with Harry Potter as well, and I feel like that really hurts them because when they give those divisions more power to overrule them, they've put themselves in situations like this where HBO Max can say, no thanks, I'm milking this cash cow for all it's worth. You can go enjoy your Hamadaverse. What do you think? Do you think that HBO Max is making the right call by trying to continue?
I definitely think. I think Snyder should continue on HBO Max. I never said it should continue on theaters because obviously Snyder doesn't have the power that they want, and that's fine. Some people don't like. There's some directors like that can grab people to theaters, and Snyder, because of his past movies, it doesn't have the power to make $1 billion Justice League movie, but he has a power to make a hit on streaming service. And I think he should definitely continue. I said this before. They should either give him a miniseries or 2 miniseries to do Justice League 2 and 3 and finish off his 5-movie trilogy. Not trilogy, 5-movie journey, if you will. Or, and this is something I think they should also try. It's a trial. See how it works. Give him Justice League 2 and say, Justice League 2 will release in theaters for its full glory, 4 hour, whatever, how many hours Snyder needs. Because, like, obviously, if he thinks it should be less than 4 hours, it's less than 4 hours. But, like, they should release the entire thing on theaters and be like, but if you don't want it, we're going to release it chapter by chapter on HBO Max. So, like, in one go in theaters, but if you want to watch it on HBO Max, just release it weekly on HBO Max. I think it could work, but also it would be a gamble, I guess, because, like, you're still releasing a movie in theaters and other in online, and, you know, costs. I don't know. I don't understand really the logistics of theaters and streamings, but I think it would be a thing to try out. But if not, fully release it on HBO Max. Just like 2 and 3 to fully release it. Maybe not as a movie, but as a miniseries. I think as a miniseries would definitely benefit them more than a movie. But do it.
Won't be as controlled. If they're doing it as a series, they don't kind of have to adhere to. You have to have this rating. You can't have this many F-bombs or blah. He could do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, and it clearly shows that when Snyder doesn't have guidelines, his movies are better. And we already knew this because of the Batman Superman Ultimate Cut. Because, like, I don't think it's that better. than the original version, but it's an improvement, and you can clearly tell by the reception that the Ultimate Cut got that the longer his movies are, the better they work, and that's the style of some directors.
Yeah.
The movie should be as long as you need, and if
Yeah.
you need 5 hours to tell your story, you get those 5 hours. Like people say, oh, it's 4 hours. Just like yeah, but if you binge WandaVision, it will take you like 6
Right.
hours.
They can binge like 13 episode long, 1 hour long episodes on Netflix, but they can't watch a 4-hour movie.
And
In
they did,
parts, divided into parts.
but Justice League is divided into parts, so they can't do
Exactly.
that. If they want, they can do that.
Yeah.
He divided, not internationally, because that was weird. I don't know if you noticed that, but internationally we don't have like chapters. I didn't get chapters.
did.
I only got the full thing. I
Oh,
didn't.
We did.
So,
Yeah, it
yeah,
came up.
I
with
didn't
the
mind because I
part-
watched everything in one go. But
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I wanted to, but my partner had to go to work, and I was
I'll
watching it
I'll
with
say
him.
something that you're
So
probably
I was
not gonna like.
Ugh.
I'll say
I
something
guess
that
I'll
you're not gonna
force
like. I don't support the release the air cut because
You don't?
I don't like because first of all I don't like
You
the
don't-
Suicide Squad. Not only do
Yeah.
I don't like Suicide Squad, I don't like Ayer. I don't like
Ah.
Ayer. I don't think I don't think he's a good director. I think you could clearly tell that by Bright and the new
I
one. that came
hated
out.
Bright. Oh my god, that movie was
And the
terrible. I
text
turned
collector
it
is
off.
even it's so bad. Both are so bad. How can Suicide Squad be that better when you see that what this man has done? And I'm sorry. The more I think about Suicide Squad, the more I think he sexualized Harley Quinn, and that really, really irks me because like, I'm getting into my own personal problems with
No, I
Suicide Squad.
completely
But
understand that.
does he have that much of a better version? Because I don't believe it. And I think Warner Brothers know that his version. For all we know, Warner Brothers released a better version of Suicide Squad. Like the moment I saw Justice League in theaters, I knew this is not Zack's vision, and I didn't know if it was better. But if I had to guess and bet, it was definitely better. And now looking back and comparing each movie, it's insane the shit Joss Whedon did. But I'm not gonna get into that as well.
No, we've discussed that plenty on this channel already.
No, yeah,
I am not the problem. Get this into your head.
I saw the other weekend a comparison, and it's ridiculous. The shots he redid, they're exactly the same that Snyder did, but there's one reason, and it's a fucking sexual reason,
Yeah.
and it's
Sexualized.
disgusting. He sexualized Wonder Woman, in this case Gal Gadot, but whatever. I don't want the
Accountability over entertainment. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I do hope that this movie, and that's the thing that I wanted the most out of the Snyder Cut, other than Snyder. I really thought after this movie Snyder was done, and I was happy that it was done because he ended on a good note. He ended his DC legacy on a good note. He got a great movie. Obviously, he wants more, and that's fine. And I hope somehow he gets it. But the thing I was most excited about this movie was people would realize Ray Fisher's potential as a cyborg, and clearly from the reception, people noticed. So I was hoping that this movie would kickstart.
Yeah, get him some
Sorry,
more
would
work.
jump back, get him again work, and I guess it's going to be in the Disney movie. But I really want news coming out after Snyder Cut, hey, Ray Fisher will be back in Flash, because they wrote him out of Flash, which was so stupid.
Especially
and you can clearly tell
after everything came out about Joss Whedon and Warner Media, and then they still decided to cut another person of color entirely out of the movie.
And it's to me, no, I'm not even gonna get into that. That's the wildest thing to me. Even though the sexual things with Gal Gadot were wild, the fact that Joss and company cut most people of color in the movie, that's the wildest. Anyway, whatever.
I'll get into it. They're very clearly racist, and it's so fucking ridiculous as well. Because I'm really pissed off about it as well. Because
No, it's
they did
really
an
bad.
interview,
Really bad.
and some statement, and their defense of it all was, well, Walter Hamada happens to be Asian, so he couldn't be racist.
Is that true?
It's very true.
And that's all we'll say on it. A over E, right?
No, that's true. Now, so I hope, and you can tell by the movie, the Snyder Cut, the one character in the Justice League I guess when they announced Batman, Ben Affleck back in the Flashpoint, I made sense because looking at the Justice League movie, whether you like it or not, Flash had a way better relationship with Batman than anyone else. But looking at the Snyder version, the best relationship he has is with Cyborg.
Yeah.
So like, people clearly like that version more. So you should go with that version and not the fucking theatrical version because barely anyone likes. I haven't seen anyone say, "Oh, just." I've seen people say that they like some parts more in the theatrical cut, which is fine. I personally only like one scene more, which is the ending. I think Superman should have gone back to his regular suit and not keep the black one. That's the only thing I like more. That's the only thing. And that's the last thing, is that Snyder shot it with the actual suit. So I don't know why he changed it to the black one. It's his vision, whatever. It's just one scene. It's not going to ruin the movie for me. But like, I just don't get the decisions Warner Brothers is doing. I really hope, I'm not going to, it's getting too tight when it comes to time for me, but I just going to say, I hope he comes back. I hope he finishes King Trilogy. I don't even know the word for 5-movie part saga. I hope he finishes it.
Chronicles.
I hope he finishes it with a bang because I do want to see the nightmare vision that he had, and I want to see the conclusion for everything. So I'm hoping for that. And please, Warner Brothers, greenlight Man of Steel 2. I'm begging.
Absolutely.
Either you're gonna lose Henry Cavill if you keep playing. So stop playing.
Well, they've already Superman reboot, but I think that's a big mistake from them. Really? No.
I'm if they're going with the thing I'm thinking they're going, which is the Black Superman. I'm all forward. And they're saying Michael B. Jordan might play it. Yo, that's awesome. And we can see with DC, DC can have so many different movies here and there, and people won't get confused. No one is saying where's Robert Pattinson in the Justice League. No one's saying that. So like they can have different versions of the characters, and I love that.
Do remember they cut out that the scene of Flash getting all the debris away from the hostages.
Mm-hmm.
They cut out that scene from the theatrical because it was done because apparently they didn't think the audience would understand it.
I noticed that like in the theatrical cut, Flash is more of like a clumsy speedster, while in this movie he's a fucking OP turning back time and saving everyone. I found it weird, like the choices they made. But anyways, whatever. Yeah, it's in the past. We got a better version. We're gonna stick to that version. We don't need to talk about the bad version.
No. Well, guys, that's been it for this week's news update. Thank you for joining me, Pedro, from Just Gaming. I'll link your channel down below. Thanks for joining the Let's Chat Movies podcast, everybody. I've been your host, Lucas Ledane, and I'll see you next time. Bye.